you got to understand that Aluce's normal 2 is the best buff in the game. By far. He is underestimated. That buff is amazing. If he is under 75%, everyone, it's not just people from Royam, it's not just sword units, it's every single unit will get a buff. And it's physical attack and physical defense. And that is and it's a buff of over 20%. Now, and you know, the cooldown is really short, and you know, it lasts, the time it lasts is really nice. Because no one else can do a move like that, he's an A. She's actually one of the best in this game, and one of the first I 6-starred because of her ultimate skill. Generally increases your archer unit, any archer's unit's attack speed by 300% for 5 seconds, and the cooldown's 30 seconds. She's going to be S. His ranged evasion 35%, but his physical defense 50%, and it's for 15 seconds. However, because sword units are not very good, if the werebeast sword units, sword soldiers, are really good, then he's going to become one of the best. So I would put him up. If people start, if werebeast sword units became the main meta, he would be up here. Because the swordsman beast unit has no buff like that, so he would be up here. But at the moment, he's gonna fall. He's probably worth a C or a D. Well, his ultimate's quite interesting. Increases your Spearman unit, so all the units, it will increase their defense by 100%, and that's for 10 seconds with a cooldown of 35 seconds. It's really hard, but he would probably be everyone's last on the list. So I will double them up, and I will put them on the ladder. It means they could actually have a huge ability to climb up. So these two have some huge potential, so they're staying on the ladder for now. Now, she's a bit unusual compared to other healers at the moment in the game. With regard to her, she can heal everyone, restores HP of all units. I believe, if I remember, we'll probably find out more later, but I believe from what I remember, there's no one who can heal every unit. It doesn't matter where the units are, she will heal them. So for now, I'm just going to put her as an S, but I'm going to put her on the ladder. No, I'd put her on. If I gave her an A, I would put her on the ladder. But I'm giving her an S. I'm giving her an S because she deserves a 6-star. She deserves to be re-rolled another 5 times on top of having her. She's that important. But there's still something strange about calling her an S unit. But I'm going to give her an S only because she can heal everyone. No one else has that level of ability. It's like AoE healing galore. So who's next? That is Sophia, the Cavalry unit. This is really a weird one. This is going to be an interesting one. This is probably going to be the most controversial one of all. Now, she's a cavalry unit, and these units are extremely weak. Their physical defense is weak, magic defense is weak, so generally speaking, as long as they get the first hit, they're the winners. I'm not putting her as a B, which is going to cause a lot of problems, but I'm putting her on the ladder, which means that she is worth a B, and she is kind of worth a B. I can see that. I can see that she can go up. She does have potential if you use her correctly. Is that she's really good? Fire. She has more potential for the whales, because actually you can't just keep starring up everyone all day and night. With regard to Yaragash, he's a mixed sword. His buff, he has a buff like Zenus, but his buff is for attack speed and movement speed. Is he worth a C? I would say yes, he's worth a C, because in one respect he could be a D, but it's difficult. It's really difficult. But maybe I should just speak personally instead of just trying to think of everyone's situation. So personally, I'm going to make him a D, because Kriemhild is one of my favourites. But she's definitely 100 times better than Alus. And her importance for Awakening comes before these two. So I'm sorry to say that she's coming up. She's coming up first. For the Empire unit, she's great to have. With regard to her ultimate skill, her damage over time is very irritating. The knockback is irritating. She can hit loads of people. If you play against her, she just throws like a meteor fireball at you. It's very irritating for people in arena. And I do rate her quite highly, but I think it's going to be controversial where others are going to rate her. So for Drusilla, whether you must have her, whether she's a must, whether she's not, well, I'm going to say if she's not awakened, if you haven't pushed her up, if you haven't done everything, then she's just average. So where she's going to go, I'm just putting her here. It's unusual, but she does have potential. If you're a whale, she's an S. So who's Celia, as you say, if you don't know? Yeah, she's a healer, but she's not a healer. She's the healer who revives. So she doesn't really heal people, she just revives people. She's double S. A whale, S or an A. How's that? Free to play, you now have your first double S unit. So I'm going to say every time you reroll, if you reroll for this game, you got to make sure you just have her at 1 star. So increases your cavalry units attack speed by 50% and movement speed by 50% if you use him as one of your as one of your leaders or officers. I don't want to see him but he has the potential if you're a whale. So there you have it. He's got a unique set of skills that could make him one of the best magicians in the game. If you are a strategist, if you are a person into strategy, he's 100% an A to an S. In fact, for strategists, he might be really, really good for you. For general people, he's just not. Okay? In terms of someone who can deal damage and stuff, you might end up changing him for a buffer. When I first used him, I thought, oh, he's going to be the best. He's so cool, like, you know, and he has this skin that makes him look pretty powerful. And I just thought he had a future until I used him. I'm giving him a B. Giving him a B. Can't believe it. What a huge change. Yeah, I have to change. I can't leave him there. Okay, that's as far as I'll go. I'll probably change my mind again. Creon is a difficult one. Honestly, he deserves a question mark as well. There is absolutely nothing to say, hands down, to Penfera. You need to get to, I think, around level 40 probably to get her for free, or I don't know, somewhere like that. And so it's quite far, but she's worth 6 starring. She's a very important unit. And another thing is, because this game has so many bugs, if you really understand bugs very well, you might be able to use her to create bugs to help you win certain games. Who knows? But her potential is huge. This game can't cope with her. She's SS. You need her. Okay, so one thing is, her rating is 4.7. These people, I'm not even going to say it. I'll get banned from YouTube. If there's an E, she should have an E. Just a waste of time. Next. So let's move on to Anna, also known as, you guessed it, Wonder Woman. She was nonsense and had limited use for me. I think Michael's better than Anna. A lot of people are going to say no, and that's only because Anna looks better. This isn't a ranking on looks, and I don't know if she has much potential. Kirk's, Captain Kirk. What can I say about him? If you can see it, already, upgraded his levels even of his normal skills, faction skill. Kirk's is one of the most important meta in the game. Well, Kirk's needs Lena, so he needs to go close to Lena. But he's definitely an SS. Yeah, this magic shield is unbelievable when you think about it, when you consider that something can be blocked 100%. She should be SS unit. But it's weird. This unit is so weird. It's like even if you really have to place people correctly with her. It's really hard to know. It's really hard to deal with her. The thing is, the big problem is that Kremhild is better than her. So we have Kremhild, who feels like a better tank. It's like she's the second tank. Ta-da. It's difficult. She's a difficult one, but her potential is maybe A. That's it. So, and if her potential is probably A, no, I don't know. I don't trust. I don't like what she offers when she's awakened. I honestly think maybe Creon has more to offer at awakened level. So, but the thing is, it's only in a designated area. So it's very difficult to know, and all the other healers are literally in a designated area. So Arya is hardly any different from anyone else. She's a Jackan, which doesn't help because no one really has her faction. So many issues with using this. Except that she's I agree that she's definitely the best healer. If it was beyond the factions. How confusing. Look at this normal skill. Recovers HP of one of your units. 2060% of your magic attack. Now, you keep upgrading that normal skill. You take it to the awakened level. You see what you're going to get. This is going to be very interesting. So healers are difficult. You need as many healers as possible. So what are you going to do? If you're in 3v3, you're going to need healers. If you just need healers. You need healers. Even in 1v1, you need a bunch of healers. Like for PvP, healers are needed everywhere, and there aren't that many, but they are increasing. So what are you going to do with Arya? How important is she? Well, you need as many healers, good ones. There are some like fake ones. So she's a kind of must. Arya is going to be an S. How important she is? I think because people would rate her higher than Lavia. But the problem is you need both. You need one. You need to start getting more healers. She's way on my list for 6-starring, and her awakened potential is maybe one of the best awakened potentials among all the magicians. So goes up from 300 to 400 damage. Well, maybe Drusilla has more to offer, and reduces target's magic defense by 20% for 10 seconds. 50% chance of increasing your crit rate by 10%. The thing is, these percentages are low, so it is a difficult one. It does seem like good advertising, and she does have Soul Weapon. So she's a really difficult one. How good is she overall? That CC is quite it's quite special. There are magicians that are better than her, that have bigger AoE than her, you're gonna see, but if she can hold them, if her CC is stronger, again, it's like Shamak. It's like you use them in a special place to do something. It's getting ridiculous. It's like, yeah, how are you going to use them, and are they better? I mean, even the Amazon soldiers can stun people, and even some archers can stun. It's a mess. This unit is a mess. It's ruined everything. She's definitely a question mark, and I would have loved to put her in the Bs, but I'm going to put her in the Cs. And increases the spear cavalry's movement speed when they travel a certain distance. I mean, yeah, it's nice. Movement speed doesn't. Spear cavalry charge 800 damage. I mean, there's a lot of things. Isn't there a heal? Person attacked by that. Buffs are stacked, and up to that. Yeah, recovery. Look at that, 393. Put Shamak there. Put Vikal there on the ladder. But again, I think he can. For a free-to-play unit, he's just a mess. So forget him. He's got no function really. I don't know, I have a personal soft spot. I like this unit. I think quite interesting. And it's a cav unit again, but penetrates a single enemy at this rate. 1,000 damage. 20% chance of dealing 5,000. Now this 20% chance of dealing 5,000, this can help with the little deals, if you know what I mean. You just get him to run around, and then after 10 seconds, boom, run around, 10 seconds, boom. So 5 times he'll definitely land the 5,000 damage. So this damage can work out in certain situations. So I'm putting him at B only because he might be worth having just as a separate side unit with like 18 horses, like elf cavalries. Okay, good old Baron. He runs round, he swings a sword, and he even heals up when he hits people. But if he needs to be babysat by someone, he's just a waste of time. And Vikal has a future. Baron is just like he's just by himself, and yeah, maybe free to play, it's okay, but I think don't waste your time. Next is Kieru, a swordsman from the Amazons. You know how I feel about swordsmen, nearly as bad as I feel about calves. So as for Kieru, I get it, you need to put her in your Amazon unit because you want to use her buff as a leader, which seems to not do anything and have hardly any impact in the game. But hey, because Panthera, who's here, she produces units that completely deal with everything else. So, but then again, I think is she worse than Tiffany? You know what? If you're in D, there's no point being better than the other. You're a D. And next we have Mercedes. Mercedes is Mercedes. If you don't know who Mercedes is, then you're literally, you've just started the game. Mercedes, the main point with her, 2 things. Her normal one is pretty powerful, but this ultimate skill is OP.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This is OP. It's like Celias's Resurrect. This ultimate skill is ridiculous. ridiculous. But no one will get her without the ring. Free to play, it's possible, but you need to plan how to get it. But Mercedes is the first one you need to choose, no matter what. Cobbs is used in so many situations, even the underground caves. But again, it's troublesome, this one. That 1 star and you can do pretty well. So I think Cobbs is quite important. So yeah, I would say, so what would happen is if you were rolling, the order would be 6 stars of Mercedes, 6 of Celiaz, no, 1 of Celiaz, 6 of Penfarrow, over time, not at the beginning, 6 of Kirk's, but you have to wait, 6 of Lena over time, Kremhild just takes some time, Arya maybe 6 star, one of these 6 star or a different healer, and 1 star of Cobbs. I think there's a coupling. I think you need the correct gear. You need good gear on him. You probably might need to awaken him, and there might even be summoning. There might even be summoning for him. When I like him better than Creon, but Creon, when awakened, will probably him and Creon are very similar for awakening. So maybe he can go up there, but should he be linked with Creon? I think for a free-to-play player, I'm going to say he's not very good for a free-to-play player, but for a whale he's very good. I think people think she's hot. Deploys an auto crossbow nearby. The crossbow deals damage equal to 80% of the character's physical attack. But yeah, these two might be, so these guys might be wrongly ranked in some way. Okay, next. Jenny is considered another archer, even though she throws a boomerang and uses arrows, which is weird. With regard to her, is she just another archer? No. She's excellent. She's an excellent archer. Yeah, a boomerang in front dealing this. Yeah, so I mean the damage, attack speed, and movement speed reduction. I mean the point is her ultimate skill. Her ultimate skill is crazy. Here we go. As you can see, this one, which I've leveled up to level 8, this is the point. She's the summoner of a dark soldier that I don't think it's one though, that deals damage equal to 170% of her magic attack. So what you need is to upgrade her magic attack, and when it dies it stays for over 60 seconds. That's crazy. And it deals 770% magic damage before it disappears, cooldown 60 seconds. How good is she compared to all these? Honestly, I like Kurumi more than many of these, and I use Kurumi more often. It's really hard. I'm gonna stick her on the ladder, and she's not SS, but she's S at least. It's just, she's not a healer. Yeah, she's a support. Take a look. So her ultimate skill places a barrier equal, well this is a 6-star one, 1 star is like 200, places a barrier equal to 350 of her magic attack on all units that lasts for 20 seconds. I mean, so 350% of it, so theoretically the stronger her magic attack, then the stronger the barrier, and so, but the problem generally people have is that the magical barrier still gets beaten quite easily. She's a B, I guess. High B or low B? She's more special than these 4. So, yep. Okay, an unusual unit, but one of the most important units if you're free to play and you're running the Amazon team. If you're running the Amazon team, she's important because of her faction skill. Or either way, she's one of, I guess she qualifies as one of the main healers. I mean, she seems to offer everything. She seems to offer the world. A world of ice. I mean, I've upgraded normal skills here. And so reducing target's movement speed and all this. I mean, she's just not making an impact no matter what I do. She can not take the B. She'll take a C. Not only does she like heal, like if we look here, she can restore 400% for all the allies, like in her little block. But she removes debuffs, and she causes 400% magic damage to nearby enemies, reduces their healing effect as well. And although Aisha is going behind them, again, if your main faction are elves, is Amazon, you need to go for her. Lena is a melee unit. High DPS. You can see with her ultimate skill, she rapidly stabs the enemy in front, dealing 350 physical damage every 0.5 seconds 8 times. She's not so good. And we have Mercedes. With Mercedes, yeah. So if there was no Mercedes, she could be an A, or she could even be an S. If there's no Mercedes, perhaps. But we have Mercedes. She drops completely. Does she become an A, a B, or a C? I wouldn't be so bad. I mean, probably give her a B. Important to look into him. And yeah, he runs into the enemy. He can hit them, and he apparently is supposed to like return to his initial position, but he can still get hit. It's not like something as crazy as what Mercedes does. So again, because Mercedes can jump in and out of a fight and do it so much better, it makes him not as good. And you know, Mercedes can do like I think 1,000 each way. So again, how important is this? Reduces the HP recovery effect of hit enemies by 60% for 10 seconds. I mean this all helps, you know, but how much does it really help? Anyway. I'll just put it in anyway, just to make the world easier. Her ultimate skill's very, very unusual. Very unusual. Has sand soldiers charge forward to knock enemies back, dealing 600 physical damage and reducing their movement speed by 90%. So yes, it's a low damage, but reducing the movement speed, I mean, that's very interesting. If you reduce their movement speed and she was followed by slower warriors behind you, I mean, this could cause a lot of trouble, to be honest. Like, she might really... This move could specifically help in many situations that we're not even prepared for yet. So that's the first thing. Charges at the enemy and deals 250% physical damage and stun them for 3 seconds. Okay, so cooldown 20. It's a bit troublesome. It's good against 1, but... Now, normal 2. Very interesting. Increasing your cavalry's ranged evasion by 10% for 20 seconds. Immune to CC for 10 seconds. Now, immune to crowd control is very interesting, but what is really crazy is this ranged EVA by 10%. I've seen this in action, and what I saw was I'm sure is a bug, and I never, like, that 10% was crazy. I'll just put her here to stop some people crying. Does she have potential? Yeah, a bit of potential. Does she have more potential than Vikal? I don't think so. I think the Cal could be very special. What to say about her? She's powerful. She's good. This ultimate skill of the Sandstorm, you can see when you're playing the game, if you use it, you can see how many enemies have this red thing swirling around them. It's caused by her. I think I will keep her as an A. Maybe not. Maybe not. No. No, I feel she's too important. So she's considered a healer, but at the same time, she's a summoner. Her ultimate skill summons a Toto King. It heals allies by 81% of magic attack every 2 seconds, and reduces their melee damage, which is interesting, received by 48%. That's at 5-star. I'm going to say that reduction is pretty high. The Toto King deals 90% of Tori's magic attack. It heals, kind of like debuffs, not debuffs, but it buffs and attacks. It's just that so much of Tori seems broken that the Toto King is just so strong, and you're getting lots of healing, and she can still make 6 of these other things that will heal you up. And because there are other buffs and other things in the melee, it's just, this is crazy. It's just, this unit is just broken. I'm moving her up. Even if they reduce a certain buff, she can still stay there. No, she's broken.